The catacomb corridors stretched ahead, in long throats of stone and shadow. The walls and floor painted with the filth of xenos corruption. But as they pressed on, there was less and less. The stains thinned, claw marks faded. The slick organic residue withdrew from the ancient stone, as though even the brood did not dare press itself too deeply into walls so old. The psyker felt it first, a wrongness, not the cold predatory pressure of the gene stealer, not the skittering hunger of the great devourer. This was different, older in its malice, gentler, less like a beast waiting in ambush, and more like silken fingers caressing the soul. Castus tightened his grip around his weapon. The corridor itself seemed to breathe. First, it was just the air, the familiar stink of damp stone, but slowly it was replaced by something more dry and cloying. Incense. It coiled through the dark in pale threads, impossible and unmistakable. Sweet enough to taste, rich enough to settle on the tongue. The corridor seemed to soften. The hard edges of the catacombs became less certain beneath the candle-thick haze. Shadows lengthened where there should have only been bare stone. Castus blinked. His eyes opened, and the catacombs were gone. The corridor's narrow ceiling had risen into the vaulted heights of a crusade chapel. Candles burned in ranks, stretching beyond sight, and black banners hung between pillars of pale stone, each embroidered with the Maltese cross of the Black Templars. Castus stood alone before the altar, his sword lay across open palms. The blade was immaculate. Its edge caught the candlelight and cast it across the chapel like the first rays of dawn. Upon the altar rested the black sword of an Emperor's champion. The gathered crusade knelt behind him, marshals, castellans, sword brethren, chaplains whose names had been carried through centuries of war. Every warrior lowered his head as Castus approached. For a moment, his stride slowed. Something felt strange, wrong, as though only a heartbeat ago he'd been doing something important, something forgotten. The thought lingered at the edge of his mind. Our ecclesiarch stood before the altar, his skull helm turned towards him.
Castus, you have fought without fear. You have endured the alien, the witch, and the traitor. Your devotion has never faltered. Your hatred has remained pure.
Images rose from within the incense smoke. Castus saw himself breaking a horde beneath his blade. He saw himself standing over a slain enemy champion, while the banners of the crusade advanced behind him. He saw worlds delivered from darkness because he had refused to yield. Of course, how could he have forgotten such precious memories? This was why he was here, why he had come. The ecclesiarch extended his gauntleted hand towards the black sword.
The Emperor has judged the souls assembled here.
Every warrior watched Castus. He felt a presence descending upon the chapel. Vast, golden, absolute. It pressed against his thought like the light of terror itself. Certainty flooded his heart. This was the culmination of every oath, the culmination of duty. The Ecclesiarch lifted the sword. Then he turned away from Castus. A young initiate knelt several paces to his right. Castus did not recognize him. His armor was scarcely marked by battle. One of his purity seals was crooked. His sword bore no campaign honors, and his face held the bewildered expression of someone who did not understand why he had been summoned. The Ecclesiarch placed the black sword in the initiate's hands.
Rise, Emperor's champion.
Silence followed. Castus did not move. He looked from the black sword to the kneeling initiate, then back to the Ecclesiarch. This boy was barely a neophyte, untested, unsharpened by any of the Emperor's trials. There had to be some meaning to it, some test, some hidden judgment that Castus did not yet understand.
No humility.
The uninvited thought came softly.
No discipline.
The initiate stared at the weapon.
I only arrived with the supply lighter, my lord.
No reverence.
You have been chosen.
The crusade erupted in acclaim. The marshals knelt before him. The sword brethren struck their weapons against their shields. The chapel's great bells began to toll. Castus remained standing before the altar, still holding his ordinary blade. No one looked at him.
After all you have given.
He approached the Ecclesiarch. There has been an error of some kind.
The Emperor does not err.
I have served. I have bled. I have proven myself.
And still he chose another.
The initiate was led past Castus. He looked almost apologetic.
I had a dream. There was a bird, or perhaps a pastry. The chaplain said it was significant.
Insolence. Heresy.
The gathered Templars laughed.
They laugh because they do not see.
Castus's victories appeared upon the banners above, but his name had been removed from them. Another warrior was credited with every campaign. The oath scrolls fixed to his armor bleached white, the words upon them vanishing one by one.
What do they call a weapon of the Emperor that is not even named in the victories it achieved?
Faith became humiliation.
A flawed blade.
Humiliation became anger.
Discarded.
At the far end of the chapel, the newly chosen champion waited behind a second altar. The black sword was held loosely in his inexperienced hands.
A sacred blade in faithless hands.
Perhaps you should prove that the Emperor chose poorly.
The crusade parted, creating a path between them.
They are waiting to remember.
In the true corridor, Castus was walking directly towards a pressure plate engraved into the floor. Above it, concealed within the vaulted darkness, hung a massive stone blade held by corroded chains. The false champion raised the black sword in challenge.
Come, Castus. Show them what they overlooked.
Do what duty demands.
One more stride would place him upon the plate. The chapel watched him advance slowly, every candle flame steady, every black banner hanging in solemn judgment. The false champion waited, with the black sword raised. Castus's grip tightened around his own blade.
A flawed blade.
The thought sank deep.
Discarded.
His purpose had been taken from him.
Denied.
He had bled for it, endured for it, burned away everything that was weak, everything that had once been. He had become duty made flesh, a weapon without desire, without vanity, without fear. What was a weapon if the hand would not lift it? Nothing. Thought opened beneath him, like a void. Nothing. His stride did not stop. The crusade remained parted before him, a corridor of kneeling giants and lowered helms. None barred his way. None spoke rebuke. Their silence became mission. Their watching became command.
Make them see.
Castus advanced. His boot hovered over the engraved pressure plate. The stone blade above him waited in the dark, vast and patient, its corroded chains drawn tight. In the chapel, the false champion smiled, black sword wavering in his unworthy hands.
Come then, if you are what you claim to be.
Castus's foot began to descend. If you are what you claim to be. The words followed him down. What he claimed to be. A weapon. The thought should have strengthened him. It should have hardened that last sliver of hesitation and driven his boot into the stone so he could finally bring judgment down upon this foolish boy. A weapon, not a champion, not a name upon a banner, not a figure to be praised beneath vaulted ceilings while warriors knelt in reverence. A weapon. His foot slowed. The false champion's smile twitched. In the true corridor, the pressure plate waited beneath him, close enough that the worn engraving almost touched the sole of his boot.
Make them see.
The thought came again, sweeter now, sharper.
Make them see your true worth.
Castus's jaw tightened. Then, from somewhere far beneath the incense and bells, another voice answered. Cold, severe, familiar.
Hatred is a tool.
It was Mordrin. Not beside him, of course. Not truly. Only memory.
Wield it. Do not let it wield you.
The chapel trembled. The candles did not gutter, yet their light seemed thinner than before. The black banners above him stirred, without wind. His foot hung above the plate. The false champion's smile faded.
Castus, do not falter now.
Make them see.
No, I will not. The denial rose without heat. Not rage, something colder. Understanding. He had not advanced to fulfill duty. He had advanced because he wanted them to look. He wanted the crusade to see the insult, to see the error, to see him. Pride. The word struck like a blade through the ribs. The chapel recoiled around him. Though nothing moved, the incense thickened, suddenly cloying, choking, sweet enough to rot. The kneeling soldiers remained bowed, but the shadows beneath their helms were empty. Duty does not ask to be witnessed. These were words hammered and forged by Mordrin over a lifetime of discipline and trial. A weapon does not choose or chase glory. It exists only as a tool to be used. The black sword in the boy's hands gleamed too brightly. The altar behind him was too white. The banners above bore victories that had never been. The gathered crusade was a hunger wearing honor and duty as a mask. The false champion raised the blade higher.
Step forward.
You will not tempt me, abomination. A blink, and the catacombs had returned. His boot hovered less than a finger's width above the engraved pressure plate. Above him, the stone blade hung in vaulted darkness, vast and gleaming. Castus drew his foot back. Only when both boots were clear of the plate did his hand rise to his neck, his fingers closing around the devotional chain. He looked up in the dark, as if looking beyond the catacombs and the planet itself. "Wherever you are," he murmured, voice low beneath his helm. "Thank you, brother."